Jive shit. Jive with shit. Jive talking with Shane shit. Heavy metal. Get your jive on, motherfucker did it. Motherfucker jive on, shit. Jive. Come on, motherfucker. Hoop, that's jive now, shit. I kind of went for like a 90s, turn that off. Kind of a 90s, when they were just trying to get into like keyboarding stuff and techno music. Kind of what I was going for there. What's going on, one and all? Welcome back. I almost had a nervous breakdown because I thought I missed an episode, but I just didn't tag in that it was 082. So we are on Jive Talkin, episode 83. Welcome, one and all. Oh, heavens to Betsy. It is so good to have you here. Everybody's talking about the podcast. They're saying it's the greatest podcast in the world. That's what they're saying. People are talking about the podcast. I want to say something very quickly about the man bun. And I apologize because I've talked badly and ill of the man bun, but I have a man bun going on back here. You can see that right there. And the reason that I finally understand, I think the reason why I was so agitated is it seemed to me that most people that had man buns, they grew a way better beard than I can grow. And they were kind of handsome, attractive men that I saw with the man bun. So I was kind of pissed off at them, quite frankly, and just like, screw you. But then I understood the utility of it. Sure, if you're handsome and you're a good-looking person, you can wear it around and people go, look at how sexy he is. But then there's also this, I don't want to cut my hair off. I've been growing it out. If you're on this channel long enough, you know that I've been growing my hair out for a while. And I've thought about cutting it off several times. And then I say, I'll just give myself like a mullet, or I really want like an old 70s bowl, like Nicholas from Eight Is Enough. I thought, man, that'd be awesome. But I'm going to keep the hair, but it gets hot. And I'm out working in the shit and the weather all day long. I put that up and I feel more comfortable. So I apologize to each and every person out there that's had a man bun, has a man bun, or is planning to have a man bun. Speaking of man buns, this guy's got a juicy set of them on him, right? Brian May, you might have thought this was some kind of a French prostitute from the 1600s with that hairstyle there, but it's not. It's Brian May. He's the guitar player, the virtuoso of Queen. And he says, we'd love to make a sequel to Bohemian Rhapsody, the biopic. Did you see the movie? I saw it. It was all right. I thought the guy did a pretty good job of, maybe they'll talk about him a little bit, but I thought he did a pretty good job in that. But let's get into it and find out what happens here. During an appearance on this past Tuesday's June 27th episode of Sirius XM. So, my God. Trunk Nation with Eddie Junk in the trunk. Queen guitarist Brian May once again opened the door to the possibility of a sequel to the band's biopic, Bohemian Rhapsody. How do you do that? You gotta focus on everything that would before. I mean, because don't they go right up into where he dies? Or does it end with them at the big festival there, Glastonbury or whatever they did? Released in November 2018, Bohemian Rhapsody has become the highest grossing musical biopic of all time. I didn't know that. Holy shit. Bringing in more than 1 billion, that's with a B, at the worldwide box office. It was also the number one biggest selling film of 2019 on home DVD release. May said, there's truth to the fact that we'd like to talk about it. We'd love it. We'd love to make a sequel. It's finding the right script. It actually took us 12 years to find the right script for this one. So I guess it's no surprise that it's not easy. There is a story there. An awful lot happened after the end of the Bohemian Rhapsody movie script. if you like, story, but whether or it would make a film, I don't know. And we don't want to be put it out there and make it unless we're sure that it's going to make $1 billion at the box office again. No, unless we're sure that it's going to work and it's going to move people in the same way its original film did. It's kind of like Back to the Future 2. That moved everybody in the same way, right? Empire Strikes Back, that moved everybody in the same way. Electric Boogaloo, Breakin' 2, Electric Boogaloo, that moved everybody in the same way. The short answer is we'd love to, and we haven't found a way of doing it yet. Let me spit this out. It'd be nice to get the same 4 guys back to play us, because they're so stupendous, all of them. They're just great. I mean, Rami's, that's Malik, who played Freddie Mercury, amazing. Gwillem, Lee, who played me, incredible, man. I mean, he fooled my kids. My kids thought I voiced the part, but he did it all. This past March, May told Daily Star that he felt proud of the Bohemian Rhapsody biopic. He added that the people who played us were just phenomenal. It's so tempting to do a sequel. It'd be worth it just to work with those boys again. Bohemian Rhapsody climaxed in Live Aid. That's what it was, Live Aid. And I suppose implicitly Freddie Mercury, late Queen singer, started to deal with his AIDS. But an awful lot happened between the end of the film. That's what I'm talking about. Because he broke up with the band and went on and did some disco albums or something for a bit, right? A film to the joy and the glory old days of Queen. I love the fact that we were able to do it for Freddie. That really means a lot to me. I felt we did it in the right way and in the right spirit. Of course, we were represented in the movie because we were a group, but it was really all about Freddie. And I think we did him a good job. May previously touched upon the possible Bohemian Rhapsody sequel in an August 2022 Instagram Live. At the time, he said, "We are looking at it." Yeah, we have been looking at it. So Eddie probably said something along the lines of, "Is there any possibility of a Bohemian Rhapsody 2 movie? Now, I don't play any instruments or anything, but I would love to be in it as like an extra if we can." Let's get into this. Gene Simmons. There's the Gene Man. There's the Gene Man. He says, Ace Frehley and Peter Criss turned down invitation to perform at Kiss's final concert. But I read a little nugget in there, and I did a little TikTok about it that I found a little interesting, so I wanted to read the whole thing and find out what was going on with it. In a recent interview with Barbara Caserta of Linnea Rock, Gene Simmons was asked about the possibility of original Kiss members Ace Frehley guitar and Peter Criss drums making guest appearances at the band's last ever concert in early December at Madison Square Garden in New York City. I'm back in the... He responded as transcribed. For the fans, the older fans, the ones who've been around for 50 years, they're old. And some of them want to see Ace and Peter. The newer fans never saw them and they don't know. But the older fans wonder about Ace and Peter. Well, I asked both Ace and Peter a few times, do you want to come out for the encores? Well, we know Ace Frehley said, dude, I'm not going to come out and be wearing my makeup and have Tommy Thayer over there wearing the makeup too. And same with Peter Criss. You're not going to have 2 Catmans and 2 Spacemans. Do you want to do the shows? They both said no. So I don't know what to say about that, but it's always welcome. But there are many other big superstars who want to jump on stage and play a song. But we're not sure about that. Maybe the best thing to do is to end the way we started. 4 guys with guitar. Started out the way we did. 4 guys with guitars, no keyboards, no synthesizers, nothing. Just playing. That's not going to happen. That's not going to happen, Gene. The last leg of Kiss's North American tour will kick off in October and culminate at the MSG Madison Square Garden concert on December 1st and December 2nd. This past April, Frehley told SiriusXM's Trunk Nation with the Eddie Junk in the Trunk that he was still open to playing with Kiss at the band's final show in New York City. Money motivates me, just like it motivates them. But I don't put money before God. If I got $250,000 a night and I can make $500,000 for playing 3 or 4 songs, 5 songs, I'd take the money. I buy a Ferrari, buy a Maserati. I don't really want to play with those guys ever again after what they've done, but money can change my mind. Frehley continued, "Look, I'm a capitalist. I grew up in America, but I never put money before people's feelings. I like money as much as the next guy does. But money isn't my God. It isn't like it is theirs. They're all atheists." Yeah, we read this because this is where he started to go off on the Trunk Nation show. And then he's like, he's got 5 days to call him back. And then Paul Stanley called him and told him to fuck off. Remember that? They're all atheists. Whatever they can do or say, whether it's true or false, as long as it makes them the most amount of money, they're going to do it. I thought that was capitalism. That's not atheism. He just threw that in. I don't think Gene Simmons is not an atheist. Right? Paul, I don't know. Paul might. Paul's spiritual. Okay, let's just say that. Paul's spiritual. Ace also addressed the issue of whether he would perform with Kiss at the band's final concert while wearing his trademark Spaceman makeup. The same makeup his replacement, Tommy Thayer, has been sporting for more than 2 decades. Sure, for $250,000, he said. Oh, is that what he says? Sure, for $250,000. Explaining, I'm a good-looking guy. I don't need the makeup. I don't know about that far, Ace. Let's not go that far. Okay? I mean, even when he was 20, was he a sex pot? I mean, get in the comments. Tell me if you thought Ace Frehley was ever attractive. When Trunk pressed about what he thinks, what do you think the odds are of playing with Kiss at the final concert in New York City? It all depends on money. If I get a formal invitation with a check, I'll be there. But they've got to have deep pockets, pal. Deep pockets. If they don't want to pay me, I won't be there, ladies and gentlemen. So there you have that. There you have that. I just think it's interesting that he says the older fans. The newer fans don't care. Dude, you're playing all the old music. You know, I mean, you're basically playing music that people want to hear from, say, what, 80, 88? I mean, when did Revenge come out? You're playing music from 1989 and backwards, 1970s, whatever. This was interesting. Michael Anthony, this guy right here, he's got a square head, looks a bit like Frankenstein, yes, but that's Michael Anthony from Van Halen. And I didn't know this, but he says Michael Anthony reveals when he first came to the conclusion that David Lee Roth was bipolar. Are you a physician, sir? That's the first thing I'd ask you. Are you a physician? You're pretty goddamn surgical on that base. I'll give him that. But in a new interview with That Rocks, the weekly YouTube series hosted by Eddie Junk in the Trunk, Jim Florentine, and Don Man Jameson. Former Van Halen bassist Michael Anthony confirmed that he does very little social media nowadays. I do a little bit of Instagramming and whatever, but otherwise, no. I don't like to get involved in the drama. And that was really hard in certain times in the Van Halen because, believe me, it's kind of funny because I look at the TV and I'm watching things like Behind the Music with other bands and I go, oh my God, look at all that shit they went through. And then I sit back and I go, oh my God, we got probably the most drama out of everybody, out of anybody. Speaking about Van Halen's touring days with the band's original singer David Lee Roth, Michael said, there was always drama on the Roth tours. There were times, God, I forget which tour it was. I'll just give you a real quick story. Not so much drama, but just how it was with Dave on tour. We were staying somewhere in the Midwest, and Dave, after this, we all came kind of to the conclusion that he was bipolar, because he would be great, and then all of a sudden he would just kind of freak out or whatever. And one night, we had a night off, and everybody was whatever we were doing. So that means they were, spanking naked ladies with a, catfish or something in the bed, like Led Zeppelin used to do. So one night, we had a night off, and everybody was whatever we were doing, which was probably disgusting. It was like around midnight, 1 a.m, and everybody was pretty much back at the hotel, and I hear all this commotion out in the hall, and pounding and screaming, and I'm going, what the hell is going on? So I put my shorts and my underpants on, and I took off the leather outfit I had on, and put on my underpants and my t-shirt, which I regularly sleep in. So I put my shorts on, and I go walking down the hall, and our security guard have got Roth in a straitjacket. Our security guys carried a straitjacket on tour. I wouldn't get into that part of it. I won't get into that part of it, because then I went back in the room, and I put my leather outfit on, and then I met him in the other room where Dave was wearing the straitjacket. But they used to carry a straitjacket on tour, and Roth was just like screaming naked, sitting in one of our security guys' rooms, wearing this straitjacket. Wow. Anthony added, Dave, he liked to drink Jack Daniels, but he couldn't handle it like I can handle it. Dave had a little bit of Jack Daniels, and he'd get a little crazy, and I guess they found him wandering around outside the hotel naked again. He's always naked. He's got his dick hanging out, everything. It's always hanging out. He's always naked, this guy. And this was just one of those nights, the 7 nights a week of being on tour with Dave. Back in May 2022, former Van Halen bassist and current Mammoth WVH frontman Wolfgang Van Halen reflected on Roth's lead singer disease. That was in quotes. During an episode of Wolfgang's Top of the Pack. Oh, that's fun. Sirius XM Classic Rewind. So he's like doing he's like, hey, everybody, this is the Wolf Man. This is a Wolfgang Van Halen, and we're going to take you back to September with Earth, Wind, and Fire. He's doing something like that, because it says Classic Rewind. So why wouldn't you have a little Hall & Oates, a little Earth, Wind, and Fire in there? Little Men at Work. I don't know. He said, I remember right before the first in 2015, Dave fired the video director because he wouldn't film his feet well enough. That's a weird little quote there. In December 2021, 2 months after Roth announced that he would end his career with the Las Vegas residency, Wolfgang, who joined his father Eddie Van Halen in Van Halen at the age of 16 for the band's 2007 reunion tour with Roth, replacing Anthony, was asked about David's retirement in an interview with Consequence of Sound. And I know it's the rest of that. He said, Dave he's very much a one-of-a-kind sort of guy. We don't really talk, if ever. We were always cordial on tour together, but it's not like I've spoken to him all that much in the last 6 years. But I mean, he's fucking David Lee Roth. I'm so happy for him and for everything that he's accomplished. And he's just phenomenal. He'll always be one of the best. Oh, you're simply the best. Oh, better than all the rest. Yes, indeedy. So there you have that. That's how he knew he was bipolar. This is how I knew he was bipolar. He had a straitjacket on. He was naked in the hallway. He was sitting on a security guard's lap. Let's get into this next story here. I don't know. Oh, heavens to Betsy. This is from June 19th, and I can't remember if we really got in. I know that there's a back and forth with Nikki Sixx and this fella right here, Carmine Appice. And I've had people rip my ass every which way but Tuesday about it's Appice. It's Appice. Just shut up about it, okay? I'm going to say Appice. That sounds more Italian to me. But this has something to do with Nikki Sixx calling him washed up. Let's get into it. Carmine Appice rails against being called washed up. I don't look like I'm dead, unlike a lot of guys my age. Or he says, I don't look like I'm dead, unlike a lot of guys that are my age, huh? You get it? You understand what I'm saying? Legendary drummer Carmine Appice says he only spoke the truth when he spilled the dirt on guitarist Mick Mars' departure from Motley Crue. In doing so, he generated some nice free press ahead of his new instrumental rock album, with Cuban guitarist, Fernando Perdomo, running up that hill. He'll be running up that hill, running up the hill. A title that was chosen on purpose. Ooh, really? To hopefully get its author, the enigmatic and reclusive Kate Bush. Am I that good? I'm that freaking good. To take notice. Whether that will work remains to be seen, since Bush rarely gives press, but the album is another testament to Appice's enduring versatility in a career that has seen him play with Rod Stewart and Ozzy Osbourne, to bands such as Cactus, Vanilla Fudge, King Cobra, Blue Murder, among others. The 76-year-old Appice is committing to staying busy and healthy, a matter of pride for him when many of his peers have started to fall off the cliff. Father Time always wins, but when Appice caught up with Blabbermouth, he didn't sound ready to slow down. Oh, it's an interview. All right. You've done some spoken word appearances recently. Do you prefer them to writing a book? I do. I gotta tell you that, I do. I did drum clinics for many years. It's the same kind of thing. Instead of teaching, I'm telling stories about the good old days. I used to go to the park late at night, do a lot of crazy shit. When I was doing the clinics, I told stories anyways. The only difference is that I don't have to teach drums. For these, I don't teach drums. I tell stories about the drums sometimes, but I tell stories that I have the audience pick. For clinics, I used to say, I can teach you stuff you don't want to know. So let me know what you want me to teach you. That's the worst kind of teacher, because you don't know anything. Imagine a karate teacher telling you that. I can teach you all sorts of shit that you want to know. What do you want to know? How to kick a guy in the face. Okay, well, let's work on that then. No, you want to learn all the basics. Sorry, Vinny. Or Carmine. I can teach you stuff you don't want to know. So let me know what you want me to teach, huh? They let me know, so I did the same thing with the stories. I put 20 stories on the screen that coincide with the intro and say, here's the stories. Pick one of them stories. Every night is different. I play drums, and I get them singing with me, get them clapping hands, then do a proper solo. Then we do a meet and greet, and it makes for an entertaining night. I mean, that would be great if he was like, he's got the big list of stories, and they're like, number 3, and he's like, I fucking did that 2 nights ago. I don't want to do that story again, okay? Blabbermouth here says, do you think you're a natural storyteller? It's easy for me. Forget about it. I did the clinics for so many years. When I did the first clinic, it was a struggle. The more I did, the easier it became. The clinics made stuff easy. A lot of the guys are afraid, even though they are great players. They can't talk in front of an audience. I crack jokes. I make funnies. Okay? One of my idols, Joe Morello, that's not the Rage Against the Machine guy. He played with Dave Brubeck and did the song Take 5. It came out in 1931. He was clinical, and I often worked with him when I was in Ludwig Drums. He used to tell me, teach them good, make them laugh, and play well. The play well, I do. The cracking the jokes, I do. The teaching is the stories. So there you have that, Carmine. Was he ever going to get to the part about the, where they saying he was washed up? Because see, all that stuff that he loves doing, all that fun that he likes having and stuff, that just means that he's not washed up. Possible vampire there, right? He's got the sunglasses on. You can see he's trying to hide the fangs. But and is that what I think it is? I mean, that's not a set of bullocks, right, hanging right there, right? Doesn't that look like a dangler with a big set of balls hanging behind it? I mean, I'm not saying that it is. Okay? I don't need this guy coming after me going, hey, guy, you sitting there telling your little fucking podcast pals that I got a dick necklace on? You try to tell them that I'm walking around, I got a dick and balls hanging out? Is that what you're trying to I'm not trying to get that going. Carmine, I apologize. But this image makes it look like it's, what's the clinical terms for that stuff? Testicles and a penis. Pardon me if there's young ones around. This is a rated R episode. Charlie Benante, you want to watch a couple of minutes of him? What he's done, this is just so fun. Charlie Benante. What he's done is he set up a camera behind him, and Pantera College or whatever they're calling the Pantera, the newly minted Pantera. They're going to play the song 5 Minutes Alone. Is that the one that's like, woo doo 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 doo? Is that it? Put that in the comments. But what he's done is he set this camera up. It's just the most amazing technology, and he's going to play the song. What I just noticed, this is weird, is he's got a Pantera shirt on, and there, right under his tits, where his belly button is, Charlie Benante. So Pantera shirts with Charlie Benante and Zakk Wylde on them. Interesting. Charlie Benante shares the drop 5 minutes alone. Dun, 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 bow, dow, bow, dow. What's that? Pantera drummer, not fill-in drummer, not Pantera drummer Charlie Benante. Not even Anthrax. Not even a slash with an Anthrax in there or anything. SOD, nothing. Pantera drummer Charlie Benante has shared drum cam video of 5 minutes alone, performed by the band June 17th at the Grass Pop Metal Meeting in Dissel, Belgium. We know the current lineup. We know all this, so let's get down here and let's get into it and let's see what he's done. Where is it? Is it on Instagram? How do we do that? Jesus. Jesus. I don't know if you're going to see this or not. All right, well, anyways, he... why can't you do the thing where you embed it? Blabbermouth? Embed it in there so I could just hit the button and stuff. There's no YouTube version of it? See, this is the only shot you're seeing, though. I don't want that. I don't want to see your mug. I want to see your feet working the damn pedals and stuff. I don't need to look at you doing that. You know what Charlie's saying about me right now in his head? That's the problem with people like you. It's fucking free. And you're still complaining about it. I set up a camera. I put it right there so you could look at my face and watch me play the song. And it's free. And you can watch it or not watch it. But here you are still complaining about it. I apologize. Let's get into your comments then. My heavens. This is one of them episodes, isn't it? There's a Mike Buchanan there, and he's got some stuff to talk about. So let's do it. This week on movies that are bad, but we love them anyways, I give you New Jersey's only superhero. Yes, the wonderful, the Toxic Avenger. You really had to be a lover of bad movies to have heard of this one, let alone seen it. I don't remember, but if it's still this way, but I want to say, what's his name? It's escaping me, but Troma Trauma Films put all of their movies up for free on YouTube at one point. I don't know if they've taken them down or stopped it, but I remember old Wackadoo, what's his face? Carl McHartley, I can't remember his name, but he said they're putting all the movies up. But Toxic Avenger, you're going to find somewhere for free to watch it. But let's get it. Loves bad movies. Yeah, heard of this one, let alone seen it. I can't tell you how many times I've seen the Toxic Avenger in my lifetime so far. But I will say I won't miss watching it if it happens to be on TV. I'm the same way. Melvin Ferd Junko III is a weakling who works as a janitor at a health club in a fictional town of Tromaville, New Jersey, where the customers, particularly Bozo, Slug, Wanda, and Julie, harass him constantly. His tormentors murder a young boy on a bike with their car and take photos of the carnage afterwards. They trick Melvin into wearing a pink tutu and amorously hugging a sheep. Yeah. He is chased around the health club and out of a second-story window where he falls into a drum of toxic waste, which sets him on fire. After running down the street, Melvin douses in the flames in his bathtub. The chemical transformed him into a hideously deformed mutant and superhuman size, and with superhuman size and strength. What could go wrong? Go watch the movie and find out. You can't go wrong with Trauma Films and the Toxic Avenger. It's like a movie that someone made on crank, the drugs. Was that a drug? Crank? I feel like that was around for a brief, short time. Is everyone jumping on the Titan tragedy? Question mark. It seems like people are coming out of everywhere to talk about it. Guess the metal world should get involved. I just saw Stryper about a month or so ago in concert. Oh, never would have guessed he's having health issues. The boy can still rock. Nearly a 2-hour show. Your thyroid is a small... Ooh, he's going to give us some doctor stuff. Your thyroid is a small butterfly-shaped gland in the front of your neck. Okay, I had a friend that had something done with the thyroid right there. Yeah. And thus ends Medical Talk by Mike. Okay. Still Mike Buchanan here. I'm telling you right now, if given the chance, I would ride Ozzy. The Bull, that is. Wishing Blaze all the best on his upcoming tour and for great health during it. Yes. I think most metal bands could care less about Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. The jokers that run the place have zero taste in good music. I'm going to go ahead and agree with all that, other than some of that good music that they put in there. Eurythmics, Depeche Mode, Oingo Boingo, Duran Duran, okay? A lot of new wave I just mentioned there. I realized that. But I already told you guys I was a closet new waver. You had to hide that shit back in the day. You couldn't just have your Depeche Mode tapes making love to your Ozzy albums. They had to be hidden somewhere and not by the nudie books. And now your Jive Talkin jokes of the week. What is Beethoven's favorite fruit? Banana. I can't believe I got that one right off the gate. What's the difference between a toad and a toad that's turned on? One goes ribbit, the other goes rubbit. Oh, I'm nailing these. Why do ducks make such great detectives? They always quack the case. What do gingerbread men sleep on? Cookie sheets. Why is the air a lot like sex? Because it's no big deal unless you're not getting any. It's true. But are you getting it? I'ma get it in. Come on, Steve. Boom, boom, boom. What kind of pants does a ghost wear? Boo jeans. Fantastic. And finally, why shouldn't you fight a dinosaur? You'll get your ass kicked, bro. Oh my goodness, there you go, and a thumb up. I nailed that. I give myself the thumb, I give you the heart. Miss Althea, the fantastic Miss Althea, coming in. The dumbstruck fool says, I will first and foremost comment on saving the day on you. Commit. Oh, Jesus, I'm starting off on the. Okay, here we go. Drink. It's always when I think that I got the word and I just go ahead and say a word. And then I look again just to confirm that, yes, you got it right. And then I know it's wrong. I will first and foremost commend you on saving the day and a couple $100 with your Slim Jim Moxie. Yes, at work. First ever time sticking a Slim Jim down there and first time unlocking it. You are appreciated by me. Do you know how many times I have saved my office a shitload of money because I managed to fix the copier without a paper clip? With a paper clip. Yeah, but you never give that information up. You just go fix it, but you never, hey, how was she doing? You got to keep a couple of tools in there just in case they're like, yeah, we got to get rid of her. It's like, no, but she fixes the copier. You're right. God, find out how she does it. Just call me MacGyver. P.S. Did you get your hair cut, darling? No, it's all there in the man bun. And I apologize again to everyone that I've ever shamed that way. Because I'm not attractive with the man bun. I don't, when I walk around and I don't have my hat on, it's not a pretty sight. But I do see that most of the men that have it, I go, he's not bad looking dude. I mean, it'd take a lot to get me in the sheets, but you got a good man bun, right? Ricky Rocket, Miss Althea on Ricky Rocket. Not to dismiss the unfortunate situation with the submersible, but Ricky's altruism has always been overshadowed by Brett and his grace, for a lack of a better word. Unless Ricky deliberately wants to keep on the down low with such things. What? Am I missing lines here? Brett and his grace, for a lack of a better word. Unless, you know what kind of got me? I'm sorry. I went off track again, Miss Althea. I'm sorry. But when I saw grace there, I was thinking to myself, as I kept reading, has Brett Michaels ever done Amazing Grace on the acoustic guitar? Put that in the comments. Unless Ricky deliberately wants to keep on the down low with such things. Michael Sweet and Blaze Bailey combo. All the best to them both in their respective recoveries. What more can anyone say, really? ? They have both been put through the ringer health-wise of late, but it is amazing that they have still managed to work and rock it out. Yes, we always want good things for sick people. Positive, I was just telling someone the other day, I can't remember who it was, but it said it's almost an insult now when you hear someone say good vibes, thoughts and prayers or whatever, you know what I mean? You almost catch yourself and go, I'm not, I don't want to say any of that because I'm going to go, yeah, kiss my ass. It's hard to come up with the right things to say in these moments, those moments in life like that. But I'm starting to feel like to say, oh, my thoughts are with you, man. They're like, yeah, right. Miss Althea on Ozzy. That sculpture being named after him is a Red Bull endorsement waiting to happen. That's what I thought, too. It looked steampunky, but it definitely looked like the freaking Red Bull. Doesn't it? I mean, it's even kind of rusty looking. Miss Althea on Iron Maiden and the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Okay, I think Bruce and Ari are going to bitch about it regardless of whether or not they get inducted. Oh, Ari. Yeah, okay, I got it. If they do, they will bitch about the principle of the thing. If they do not, they will still bitch about it. I don't think the poor place can win for losing with the band. If they do ever make it, Just put their display next to the bathrooms. After all, they do sound pretty pissed, right? Yep. Yeah, I could hear Bruce Dickinson going, and they put us, and to make it even bleeding bloody worse, we're over by the men's restroom. Welcome back, Mike B., Miss Althea says. Your comments about Agnostic Front made me realize I failed to mention last week that Hide of X-Japan was a big fan of Agnostic Front. At this point, would I not be remiss if I didn't find a way to work in Hide, yes, or X-Japan in a general into, okay, I'm going to read that again. Here we go. I failed to mention last week that Hide of X-Japan was a big fan. At this point, would I not be remiss if I didn't find a way to work in Hide of X-Japan in general into just about everything, ? Yes. Well, you love it. So that's what that's a reference point for you. And that's fine. You can have that. There's your heart, dear. Steve Bernard coming in. Good job on explaining the Yoda joke. I paused the video and was like racking my brains and screaming, I don't fucking understand this joke. And then I hit play and totally saved me. Confession time. Ooh. We got to get some of that soft core Skinamax. What is this? What was those letters in Penthouse called? Penthouse Forum? Confession time, everybody. When I was a child, someone told me the joke about two nuns in a bath. Okay? First nun, where's the soap? Second nun, yes, it does. And it took me like 30 years before I had to get someone to explain that one to me. Jokes, man, they creep me out. Oh boy, where's the soap? The second nun says, yes, it does. Huh. I'm lost. Steve, there you go, my friend. And then we got the Pigolin coming back in. He says, who is Blaze Eli? I don't know who Blaze Eli is, but if you're talking about Blaze Bailey, he was the singer that popped in and popped out of Iron Maiden there somewhere in the 90s. Was that when it was? Put it in the comments. All right, you knuckleheads. Get out there, do it. Do it to it. You are the kings and queens of the world. I believe you are the future. Come on, baby. Come on. Give it to me. Feed me, Seymour. Let's get something, baby. Let's get it good. Whoa. I wish my fingers could do the... Oh. I mean, I know we've done Billie Jean before, but I don't want to go off on that, man. I'm not feeling that. It was more like Billie Jean from the movie scene. I sang the number, do you mean I am the jive? The jiving is my son. Big train rolling. Traffic jam. Billie Jean is jiving my jive bone. I said I love you, but jiving is my son. It's my son, it's my podcast, my fun time. Jive Talkin is so good. I gotta love it, and I love it so. So jive in your hole.